Hey guys, I hope you're having a fantastic day. Thank you so much for joining me. This weekend is going to be 1 year since I had my port placed, so it's going to be my port anniversary, and I'm really excited. It's a wonderful milestone in my opinion. My port has been a blessing beyond words or measure in managing my chronic illnesses, and it's definitely just a wonderful tool for me personally. So I wanted to talk a little bit about my port and about like skincare for the port. So I hope you guys find this video helpful, because I haven't seen a lot of them on YouTube about like skincare yet. So anyways, jumping right into it, I've had my port, like I said, for almost a year, July 5th, which is crazy when I think about it. I mainly receive IV saline fluids through my port, and a Remicade, which is an infusion for my autoimmune diseases. So those are the two main things. I'm not really sure if we're going to be using it for surgery. We haven't really talked about that yet, but I'm going to be bringing port supplies just in case like it needs to be flushed or anything. So figured before I start, I will show you. This is my port right here. It is pretty small and it's hard to see. My nurse thinks that the doctor thought he was doing me a favor by giving me a smaller port. This way it wasn't quite as noticeable, but it is quite a fussy port, and it can be very difficult at times to access. It does, I think due to my EDS, it does like shift around in there quite a bit. So like the positioning does tend to change every few weeks to maybe every month or so, that the port has switched positions, and it takes longer for us to get the needle in, which is what we call accessing. So I'm usually accessed about 4 to 5 days a week, and then I de-access, and the remainder of the days I get a break and my skin gets a break, which I think is wonderful. I know not everybody is able to take that break, but if you are able to, I highly encourage it, because it is a good thing for you and for your skin, honestly, just to get that break if that's something, you know, you're able to do. So for me personally, I have a connective tissue disorder called Ehlers-Danlos syndrome, which I've mentioned before on my channel. And due to this, I have delayed healing. So anytime I get cuts, scrapes, or anything else, it takes a long time for me to heal. It's not like a couple days like a normal person. It's going to take me weeks to a month or so in order to heal. So for me, taking care of my skin when I'm de-accessed is super important. So I just wanted to share like what I use and what I do, because I've noticed like not many YouTubers talk about this. I don't know if people just don't do anything with the skin, or if it's just not something like people talk about. I'm not really sure. So I have like all this stuff. And this is not like I don't use everything every day, but I like kind of like alternate when I'm not accessed, just to, like I said, heal the skin. So this is really important in my opinion. This is an alcohol swab. And so once I'm de-accessed, not like right away, but if I de-access earlier in the day than later in the day, I will use one of these to like clean it, just as if you're cleaning it to put the needle in. I clean it really well after the needle is out because I'm crazy and I don't want any germs on there. And I just find it's like peace of mind for me that it's clean before I put anything on it. So I use this cream, geez, couldn't think of the word. It's called Shea and Hemp Seed Ultra Moisturizing Body Butter. So this is like something that I'll use sometimes, and like I said, I do alternate what products I'm using. I don't really have anything much to say about that other than it's a nice cream. I don't know. And then the other cream I use is Oakey's Working Hands. I have noticed that Oakey's and Neosporin does wonders for my skin. If I get a cut or a scrape or anything like that, using Oakey's with Neosporin helps me to heal a lot quicker than I generally would on my own, if that makes sense. So I do feel like putting it on the site when I'm not accessed is like a good thing. It helps my body to, I guess, kind of heal the area a little bit. I've never really had any issues with my skin with like the Tegaderm, which we're super surprised about. I haven't had allergic reactions or anything, and with all my allergies, it's just a shock to my nurse. And of course, like I said, Neosporin. I am using this, I would say, a lot more regularly than anything else. I try to remember at least 2 or 3 days to put it on, because to me, like, it is helping, like I said, to heal the skin, and that's really important. And then just lavender. It's an essential oil, and it's got like a nice top, which makes it easy to apply. And then the last thing I have, so this is a serum, which you would generally use on your face, but it's like so ultra moisturizing that I started putting a tiny bit on my port. So I just squeeze a little bit out and put it, and I don't use all this at once, but I mean, you can tell there's not much like damage or anything else to the skin. So I hope that like one of these products, or this, like talking about like skincare for your port, like somebody finds it really helpful. Like I said, I haven't really seen a lot of people talk about it. So right now, my goal when I had gotten my port was to do my own accessing. However, I've had problems with my hands between them shaking and going numb. And after I had gone numb one time and kind of made myself bleed quite a bit, it looked like one of those movies, I got blood all up in here, I decided that it was best to just allow my nurse to do it for the time being. And if I feel like it's something that I can attempt again, it's definitely, you know, something that I'm hoping to be able to do in the future. But I'm also, you know, trying to be flexible with my body and with my illnesses. So yeah, I hope this really helps. If you have any port tips, let me know in the comments. What's something that like you do that you find really helpful for your port, or something maybe that you stay away from, or do you have like a specific question like around ports? I would love to just hear your thoughts in the comments. Like I said, I really thought it's like a wonderful tool in my opinion. I do find like a port versus a pick, there are definitely benefits of both because I've had both. I do notice that for me personally, showering with the port is definitely, when I'm accessed, it's so hard to shower. I skip showers quite a bit when I'm accessed, honestly, and just use like shower wipes. But the Hydro Seal, especially because like you're trying to get it to stick up here, and my skin is funky, so that's the one thing with my port, is I can't always, like my Techoderm doesn't always stay put, so it does tend to slide a lot, so I keep like extra Techoderm on hand, and skin prep, I keep extra of that on hand because that's super helpful. So sometimes if it's gonna slide off, I just you know, mask up and glove up and everything, and just put extra skin prep on, and then extra fresh Techoderms, and usually that'll hold it. But showering, like I said, is definitely a challenge for me personally. I thought like showering with a PICC line was actually a lot easier than an access port. I don't know, maybe that's just me, because I hear a lot of people prefer the port like with showering, but I felt like with my PICC line I had like a system in order to shower and not get it wet. And like the port, I feel like I'm still just learning how to shower more efficiently, I guess, with it. Alright guys, so like I said, I hope that you found this video helpful, and I'll see you guys soon. Bye!